This is Gilgamesh. I want to boil things down to this. What we're seeing humanity do, this is you. This is what you've always been. You're violent. From your days of cavemans. Oh, we can go back even forward. The Bible has all the stories of the violence people commit out. What happened? Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. Human beings, as far as they can create their first knife, you've been killing each other. You don't kill for food anymore. You kill for sport. You kill because you want to kill. And then when your knives didn't work, you created spears. Then you went from spears to bows. Then you created swords. And then when that didn't work, you created rifles. Your first, what was it, flintlock pistol, and then blunderbuss. And then you created stronger weapons. And then you created Gatling guns. And you created revolvers. And then you created shotguns. And, then you went bigger. And, cannons, I think I said that. You created planes to drop bombs and tanks to shoot, munitions and submarines to blow shit up. And then you created bigger weapons. Planes could drop atomic bombs and then you go in through history and you kill each other and you can't stop, and this is who you are. And you can talk all the God stuff, all this stuff, but you simply will never stop murdering yourself. Look at what happened over the weekend. Israel and America went into Gaza, murdered nearly, I think it's probably by now, 300 Palestinians, and apparently 3 hostages to get 4 people who in photos looked healthy as hell. Looked like they'd been taken care of. When they showed what a Palestinian someone released by Israel, they looked like shit. Because Israel rapes and tortures people. This is what they do. And you have monsters like Jake Sullivan justifying this. We talk about Russia's red lines all we want. What is Russia doing? The West is testing Russia and they keep not reacting. Okay, we're going to send drones into Russia itself and attack. From Romania. They know they're coming from there, but they do nothing. Do they attack Romania? They keep saying, Putin says, if we know where the weapons, we're going to strike those places. Well, they're waiting. Your red lines don't mean anything when you don't do anything. Oh yeah, Russia sent some of their military to Cuba. The island of Cuba that we put an embargo on that's killing the people of Cuba. Yeah, human beings. You'll do evil to each other and you'll justify it. And I said this before. I'll say it again. People use religion to do all types of evil. Catholic Church did this through the Christian Crusades. They persecuted anyone who they considered a heretic, whether it be other Christians, Jews, Muslims. The Christian Crusades were all about getting rid of Jews. Out of what? Syria. Jews, Muslims, and even Christians. Out. The English church wanted, and the Catholic Church wanted that land for themselves. This is what you do. Like I said, Russia threatens they're going to strike, and then they don't. And the West goes, okay, let's keep sending more weapons in. And Russia goes, well, we're going to, red lines, I constantly hear about this, red lines, and nothing happens. If I were Russian, and I'm thinking from a Russian, I'm watching all this happen, Russians being killed, and the government's doing what? They keep warning, we're going to retaliate. I'm waiting for the retaliation. When are you going to strike Romania for sending vampire drones to attack your country? Inside your country. I'm not talking about the Black Sea. I'm talking literally in your country. They did the terrorist attack. Turkey took part in the terrorist attack on the concert hall. Yeah, the terrorists, the ones who committed the terrorist attack came from Afghanistan. They went to Turkey. Then from Turkey, they went to Ukraine, where then they went into Russia, committed the terrorist attack. And it's all been traced back that Turkey was involved. Now they're trying to beg to get into BRICS. I wouldn't let them in. I don't trust the government as far as I could throw them. These people have a contract with Israel. Oh, they love acting like, Understand it. Egypt Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the fake king of Jordan, the United Emirates, all these Saudi countries, the ones run by the Saudis, all have contracts. All of them have contracts. Why? Because they take money, they owe money to America. Egypt's in debt to America. Turkey's in debt to America. In the other two countries, it's like BRICS started. First it started with what was it? Russia, China, sanctioned by the West. Then you add South Africa to that. Things aren't going well there. They just had elections where they have a lot of problems that were not being addressed. Yeah. And in Bobi, his elections didn't go quite the way he expected. He's a Zionist. He sends weapons to Israel to kill, and he's allowed Muslims to be killed in India by Hindus, Zionists. But yeah. And then the only good thing I saw was where Japan and South Korea met with China. I think part of them realizes they don't want to go to war with China because they can't beat China. But, this is what human beings you do. You start wars. Americans start wars they can't win. I know in the 90s things were bad in Russia, but now it's a much different country. And I talked to a lady who actually comes and cleans my house. She's moved here, I think she said 92 this is after the fall of the Soviet Union, when after Yeltsin, Putin was given the country, she moved here. And things were bad, and they were in Russia. But now, and she said everything was better under the Soviet Union. She grew up under the Soviet Union. She told me things were much better when the Soviet Union existed for Russians and people in Ukraine who are Russians. Ukraine is a country made up by Russia. They're not Russia. There are no Ukrainians. It's a fake country created by Russia. The people in there, the legit people, are Russians. Zelensky is a Russian. He's not. The name Ukrainian it's a part of Russia. But here's the thing: the people calling themselves Banderites aren't even from Russia. They're part of Western. The part that Stalin took and gave to Ukraine were from Poland, Hungary, and Romania, the Nazi countries. Now I could go into how these countries were all helping Hitler round up the Jews and put them in the ghettos and then send them off. I've already talked about the 150,000 Jews that helped served in the Nazi military. Jews were killing Jews. Zionists are Jews. Zionists are Catholics. It's all the same dog shit. And this is human nature. You find every reason to want to kill yourself. You'll never have peace in this world. You won't. You can talk about, Israel's never going to allow Palestine to exist. And nothing's being done to stop it. America was complicit in this. I saw a video of a kid literally talking about how American troops came and attacked his family, and he knew they were Americans. He's telling this to someone who recorded it, saying, who attacked you? And he said, American soldiers. So American soldiers took part in this massacre. Yes. Yes, Americans are helping the illegal occupation kill these Palestinian people, and their justification is, well, it's Hamas. If Hamas freed all the hostages, it still wouldn't stop the slaughter. These people aren't going to stop till they kill every Palestinian. So all these people like Michael Rappaport, a Zionist piece of shit, and Bill Maher, of all people, I remember when he called himself an atheist. Atheists are Zionists. They don't believe in God. And he sits there and now stands with the Zionist child fuckers. The one, he literally talked about he talks about Palestine. He makes up all these lies about Palestine. They gay rights and raping kids and everything. And everything he's saying is actually true about Israel. Israel doesn't allow you to get gay married. You can't be really openly gay unless you're in the IDF. They legalize literally men having sex with kids. Yeah, it's legal in Israel to rape kids. The IDF does it, and Bill Maher doesn't care. Because his friends in Hollywood are all Zionist child fuckers, and he knows this. See, these predators all target the most vulnerable. This is human nature. Predators, psychopaths, you will kill each other, not because you're trying to survive, it's because you want to. All these people say, we're doing it for God. No, God doesn't have anything to do with this. Stop using God to justify your evil. Like the whole thing, I've heard many Israelis say the whole purpose to Israel is to get the Jews in one place so they can sacrifice them to bring Jesus back, who they don't even believe in, who they say in their own Bible is in hell. His mother's a whore because she cheated on her husband. That's what they say. So why would they be waiting? First of all, Jesus never said, oh, he said, wait here to his followers. He said, wait here in Syria. He never said at the end of days, he said, when the time is right, I will come back and take you to heaven. So they've waited for his return. He hasn't come back. You ever wonder why? You know why most people can't hear God's voice or even talk to him? Because you're so out of touch. You're so invested in your own self-interest. You forgot what it means to be human. You forgot what Jesus taught, what Moses taught, what Muhammad taught. All these things. You forgot all these things. Instead, you're all in it for yourselves. You're capitalism. It's a sin of greed. You do movies about you did Seven, a religious man who was punishing people for their sins. You don't learn anything. You're dumb as shit. You tear statues down. You do what Nazis did, what Hitler did in Germany when he took over. America did exactly what the West did. They turned into the very thing they said, we're tearing down these statues so you can forget your past so you can repeat it. And what happened during the BLM stuff? I understood why they did it, but then you heard this came out of colleges, we blacks want to have our own segregated graduations. Like, oh, you want to bring that back? The very thing Martin Luther King went to jail for and opposed segregation. I heard that, I say, wow, they want to really say, they're doing exactly what Democrats want them to segregate themselves. You know? Isolate yourself from other people. Don't have anything to do with white people. But keep complaining that, and that's the thing, is all this, all these things. It's like, if you print all this money, I'm not against help. People should be compensated for things done to them. Here's the thing. If you print all this money, you devalue the currency, like we're doing now. So let's say you give everybody who's a descendant of slavery $10 trillion, that money will be absolutely worthless. You basically will destroy your currency, so it won't matter. And then what are you going to do? You're going to put it right back in the system. As Sarah, when she was talking to Nick on his channel, on his channel, Nick Cruz's channel, said that all they're going to do is put the money right back in to the system, the very corrupt system. So, yeah, and this is what I think Dave Chappelle was making the joke about reparations is really a lot of black people will just waste down the stupidest shit. Yeah, they won't use it to improve themselves. I'm not saying all black people, but a good portion will waste the money on stuff like you said, rims for their cars and stuff, instead of trying to maybe make their lives better. That's why the money, and I'm not against how, there's a lot of people. It isn't just black people that deserve, there's Indians, there's Irish people descendant of Irish. We're slaves in this country. People forget that. There's, you have a lot of people. You'd have to, you have to make sure and test everyone's DNA and make sure because there are white people who are descendant of slaves. Yeah, so Thomas, the man who was in the story, what was it, 12 Years a Slave? Some of his descendants are white. They showed him at the end of the movie. And I was like, there are some white people in there, yeah. Even Thomas Jefferson's slaves, some of the descendants of Sally, the one he slept with, who was a teenage girl, I think, at the time, are white. Yeah, not everybody who is black was a descendant of slavery. Kamala Harris wasn't. Her great-grandfather was a slave owner from, of all things, a British man who came from Ireland, because the Irish didn't own their land. They were essentially slaves of the British. So this British man came from Ireland and created the largest plantation in Jamaica. Kamala Harris, only connection to black people is owning them. She's one of the dumbest women in the world. But this is, like I said, humanity. You will do everything to wipe yourselves out. You will never be able to live in peace. You'll find, look, you have people in this country that go, look, China, China, China. You go, oh my God, Muslims. Donald Trump wants to be it's like racism is just, it's not, they're not ashamed to be racist anymore. These people are not hiding their racism. And both sides have their racists. There's black people that are black supremacists. Yes, that think, well, we're better than white people. If you think you're better than anybody, you're a supremacist. It doesn't have to be black. It doesn't have to be a white person. It could be a black person. It could be a Zionist. Anybody who thinks we're above everyone else, you are in fact a supremacist. You might as well. You're also a Zionist. Zionists are Nazis. They're fascists. They're all the evils. But you have them. You know the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? A sociopath feels nothing for the things they do to people. A psychopath gets off on it. That's the big difference. People that take pleasure in other people's suffering, those are psychopaths. Sociopaths feel nothing for the terrible things. They don't know how to empathize or take pleasure out of the terrible things they do. But this is the world we live in. Violence. Look, you've got violence in Ukraine, violence in Russia, you've got violence in every part of this world. In America there's violence. We have violence every day in America. You can't expect the world to be peace when you can't stop being violent. That's what human beings do. And I've said this to be honest. The world is violent. It's not going to stop being violent. You're never going to coexist. You're always going to have somebody come up with something. Oh, this person, we have to stop them. We have to stop them. We have to stop them. Look, we have to do this. All this is always going to happen. As much as people will say, "Oh, ceasefire," there's no way to gain peace unless you get rid of Israel. Or in case what the world's going to do is let Palestine get wiped out. Nobody's stopping it. Russia could stop it. China could stop it. Well, how's that going? Hamas basically is still going to be there. And what they're going to do is they're going to kill there probably will never be another one of these negotiating about hostages or anything, because America just fucking killed nearly 300 Palestinians for 4 people and killed three Israelis in the process. Don't hear about that on the news. They want to act like this was a success. And then you had at least Martha Rath and Jake Sullivan about, hey, Ghoul, look how many Palestinians were killed for 4 people. And he's like, oh, he lies his ass off. This is what's so evil about people. There's no hope for you. There's no peace coming. There's no way to end this violence because people can't stop killing each other. You create more and more weapons to murder each other. You want war with Russia. You're already at war with Russia. You want war with China. You want war with North Korea. Hell, let's just kill each other. Let's give everybody a fucking nuke and let them shoot each other with it. I say just give them all the nukes they want, all the weapons, and just fucking kill each other. Because guess what? You're not going to stop. Your nature is to kill yourself. That's pure and simple. This is human nature. Understand it. You will never stop wanting to kill yourself. Your entertainment, and I'll put it this way, you created entertainment thinking you could appease your violent nature. It didn't. You have people who literally see protesters who are protesting what's going on in Gaza, and these are the same people that got angry at the cops from January the 6th, and then they're celebrating the cops assaulting these people. And then their dear cult leader literally says, I'll deport these people and I'll go to war we're going to go to war for Israel against the Arab world. He's already talking about war with, and then he admits he would never have pulled the troops out of it. He would never have left Afghanistan. So he lies. Trump's a liar like the rest of them. There's no hope. I mean, honestly, you're just watching this natural way things are. We go back in the past and see violent nature. Africa, the tribes were always violent to each other. In America, the Indian tribes went after each other. This is just the way humans have always been. This is who you are. Trying to deny your violent nature is why everything is screwed up. Instead of finding a way to deal with it, you want to kill each other. You want to, oh my God, those tribes. Oh. Even I say some fucking shit. When I hear Sullivan, I just want to fucking get rid of it. Yeah. I say some messed up shit, but that's just the way I vent mine. I wish I were the god of hell. I would definitely punish humanity for what they've done. I get why he doesn't want anything, why he hates you. You can't stop doing evil. Why would you think any of you are going to heaven? Look at the way you act. You got people literally thinking it's okay to kill children. Pro-lifers are the most deceitful assholes in the world because they talk about, oh, all life is sacred when it's in the womb. Moment it's born, fuck it don't mean shit to them. Yeah. This is human nature. I know I'm ranting, but yeah, this is the way you've always been. You know? I'm watching, and it's watching this world, it's like, that's why I try to do other stuff, and I don't make these videos that often, because, frankly, it's a bit of a depressing world to look at humanity do this and then go, are we ever going to get past our violent? No, you're never going to get past your violent nature. Oh, that's funny. There's a horror movie that's out. A Violent Nature. That is humanity at your core. You will never stop being violent. You talk about peace, but really, you will never be able to live in peace. Look at your country. Look in your own country. You have people getting killed every day. Over what? Materialism. Nobody wants to take care of each other more. We have homeless people. We have veterans living on the street. Veterans who fought in Vietnam, a lot of them are still homeless. That's how little people care about, in this country. We hear it all the time. Why do we have a homeless problem? Because Americans care about themselves. Not everyone. We have plenty of people that say, yeah, we need to take care of Americans. We don't need to be doing all this shit around the world. America's not a great country. It's not. It is really messed up. For anybody to say, oh, America, fuck yeah, you are retarded. You are beyond retarded. It's this whole idiotic thing of, yeah, we're the greatest nation in the world. In what world are you what crack pipe are you smoking from? There's nothing great about America. It has way more problems than it should. If we were so great, we wouldn't have crime. We wouldn't have homelessness. We wouldn't have people dying of drug overdoses. Yeah, in my state, where all drugs have been decriminalized. Kids are dying of drug overdoses. Do you want to know what decriminalization does? It kills people. Yeah, kids are dying of drug overdoses, fentanyl and stuff. Yeah. It's legal to get any hardcore drug in Oregon. Go look. They've decriminalized every hard drug you can think of. Every drug you can get your hand on that, like, any drug is apparently legal in Oregon, and kids are dying. Yeah. Yeah, people are going to die because this is, I'm not worried about dying. I'm not. I'm not depressed or anything. I just, I sit there and go, and I do see some, I see some things that make me go, maybe. Not that we're ever going to stop killing each other, that there are people out there. I'm not physically able to do it, but there's people out there putting their lives on the line to say, hey, we need to stop what's going on in Israel. Young people are willing to go to jail, get arrested, assaulted, possibly murdered, because they want this war, this violence against the Palestinians to end. It's not stopping Israel. They don't care. Our government doesn't care. Trump doesn't care. His whole family are a bunch of shitbags. But our pronouns, it's Pride Month. Yeah, live up the sins, the 7 deadly sins. Keep living them. This month is all about, being, Gay Pride Month. Okay, can we make August? You wouldn't get this. Let's make August Straight Month. Yeah, where everybody who's straight gets to celebrate being straight. You ain't getting it. That will never happen. Yeah, it'd be funny if somebody put that through and it became law, like it actually passed and became a thing. Legally, August is Straight Pride Month. Watch all the gays. Oh, you can't do that's discriminatory. Well, you have a whole month to yourself called June. Shut the fuck up. As Morgan Freeman said, why do we have Black History Month in this country every day? Black History Day. Yeah. I've never understood why we choose the shortest month. Oh, well, if you look at the fact that it's Martin Luther King's birthday, yeah, but at the same time, you choose the shortest month to celebrate Black History Month. Why can't we celebrate it all year round? Why can't we celebrate all different cultures? You know, okay, let's say that August is straight Pride Month. Let's say it's also Latino Month. Or, since it is the hottest month of let's make it Latino. Yeah, let's say that July is Asian Month. Or, we already got December is Jew and Christian month. So, yeah, let's make Asian month, oh wait, no, that would be, what month is it? January? Is that no, that's the regular, I'm trying to find the Chinese New Year. I'm not going to look it up right now. But yeah, whatever month the Chinese New Year is, that's the month, should be, wait, is that February? I honestly would have to look it up. But yeah. It's just, yeah. You're watching Nature of Humanity. This violence is never going to stop. Even the Palestinians are gone, Hamas will still be there. So the violence will continue. Then you got Lebanon. Yeah, these idiots in Israel don't have a chance against Hamas. They have a far superior military, and they're more well equipped than Hamas. And they can't even beat Hamas. That's what's so ironic. So they're killing all the people when they can't get to Hamas. Yeah. I wonder what the operation really was. How'd they get the hostages? Or was it that somehow this thing was supposed to go down a lot different? That maybe the real plan was secretly they would hand over some hostages? I don't know. I know it didn't go well. People were killed. And the idiots who support this shit are like, yeah, it's a win for us. You killed about 300 people for 4 idiots. 4 Zionists. Yeah, it really works out. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. What a world we live in. And this human nature to kill each other isn't going to stop anytime soon. So, yeah. Violence will never stop. They want war. There will never be peace in the world because people won't stop killing each other. Ever since go back to, Adam and Eve, their sons, Cain and Abel. What did Cain do? Murdered his brother over jealousy. He was envious of his brother. That's all mankind does. From the days of monkeys to caveman, on. You've always been a violent species. Violence is your nature. You can't satiate your bloodlust to kill each other. You're never, no matter what entertainment you crave, video games, movies, books, all that stuff is never going to satiate your bloodlust. That's why people are going to wipe each other out. So yeah, we look at what's going on in Russia and Ukraine. The West attacks Russia. Russia says, red lines, we're going to retaliate. Like I said, they haven't. So the West waits, okay, it's like you're doing this. It's like, okay, imagine, I'm gonna take a kid, I'm gonna say, hey Putin, if you don't surrender, I'm gonna punch this kid. And then you start punching him. Okay, Putin, I'm punching, and he said, if you punch that kid, that's a red line. I'll hit you. And then you go, okay, do something, and then you're punching the hell out of the kid, just beating the hell out of the kid, and you look, and Putin stand there, and before long, it's like that on The Simpsons with, stop, he's already dead. And the kid's a bloody dead mess. And you go, okay, and then you take another kid, punch him. You wait for if Putin's going to do, no, grab another kid, so start, you're going to beat these kids to death. And you tell Putin, I'm going to keep killing these kids till you do something. Putin's gone, you kill another kid, that'll cross our line. That's what America's doing. The West is not afraid of Russia. Because they're watching, they're waiting for a response. All they get is, you're crossing red lines. We might use nukes. Do you think these idiots care? They don't. They want you to use nukes. Come on, Russia. They keep testing you. Romania keeps sending drones in to attack your country, and you sit there and go, well, not yet. How many more people? This is kind of like, yeah, the Russians are very patient, apparently. They're willing to sit by and let their people get killed. If I were in Russia, I'd be frustrated with what's going on. Why don't you end this, Putin? You have the ability to end this. You could end this and end this whole war. But you're dragging it on. And more people are dying. You haven't really stopped the violence. That's the problem. If you really want to stop it, you do it, send in all your troops, and end it. And end this quickly, but you're dragging on because apparently you think that's good for you. I don't know. This is human nature. This is never going to stop. You're never going to stop killing yourselves. And if you really look at it, it's quite depressing if you really were to step back and go, why is this happening? Because this is your nature, to kill yourselves. You've been doing this since forever. You found new weapons to kill each other. This is all you have. In the end, all you want to do is kill each other. You're not going to stop till there's not one person left. Till there's just two people, and then they'll kill each other. Prove me wrong. But you can't. You're fighting. There's people protesting, but is it stopping it? They don't care that you're protesting. And I'll say this upcoming election, I still think that come the convention, because this whole hate on Biden, I think they're going to pull Gavin Newsom. That's why he's kind of stayed quiet and hasn't really been talking, if you wondered. And frankly, he probably will be coming. I wouldn't be surprised because Kamala Harris isn't going to be the nominee. Hillary Clinton's not running again. Nobody will vote her back in, would ever vote her in. So it'll probably, if I'm right, this will become Gavin Newsom versus Trump. RFK ain't going to win. He has no chance of winning. He's a fucking complete Zionist piece of shit. So he can fuck off, with the rest of them. And Gavin Newsom's probably a Zionist too. Trump is, they all are. Jill Stein, as much as, she failed to get on the ballot in New York. She had no chance of winning. She could not be, and yet Jose Vega, a man who no one knew who he stood up until he yelled at AOC about supporting a genocide. He's running in New York, and he got enough signatures to get on the ballot against Richie Torres. He knows he may not win. The thing is, it's not whether he said, if I lose, I'm going to try again. He's not going to give up. It just means he's going to scare, and Richie Torres should be scared. Because somebody like him could spark people to get rid of, and AIPAC isn't as powerful as they think they are. Yeah, they spend a lot of money, but if people turn on them, like, let's say, vote for someone like Jose Vega, then and he's just a regular guy who lives in the Bronx, that and Staten Island are the two poorest boroughs in New York. But yeah, so, and it's funny because he got a lot of because of the Due Dissidents, because of Jimmy Dore, they did a fundraiser in New York for him to raise money for him, and he made the announcement he's on the ballot against Richie Torres. Good for him. See, but how does Jill Stein, who has more money and everything, because the Green Party is a joke. It's been a joke since Bernie Sanders, even before Bernie Sanders. But yeah, Jill Stein did, sorry, but, you also apparently refused to go on Jimmy Dore's show to talk to him. Cornball West did that. He went on and it wrecked his career, and he got embarrassed because he's a joke. As Nick Cruz said of, the RBN, yeah, Cornball West is a joke. And I would have voted for Jill Stein, but she had no chance of winning. So what's the point? I don't really believe our vote matters anyhow. They pick the president. The government does. They have the Electoral College. You guys didn't pay attention when the government took away the Electoral College from the states. Yeah, after Trump lost. Yep, they took away the vice president's ability to decertify the election, and they took away states' rights to, pick the president. So the government will continue to pick who they want. And right now with Biden, Trump being more psychopathic than seeing Biden makes him look like a better kid. But the problem is Trump can't shut the fuck up. He keeps admitting things that he should shut the fuck up about, like admitting that he was never going to leave Afghanistan. Like when he claimed we were leaving Syria, he never left Syria. So we live in a world of people who, a violent world, a violent world, a violent world. Your violent nature is, and it's been like this for going all the way back since the days of Cain and Abel. And you've done everything to kill yourself. You'll never have peace because you can't stop. There's always going to be people that are going to be like violent, murderous monsters. And the people that don't want this are always going to lose. So, I commend the young college students for doing what trying to get their government to stop support, but they're not going to stop supporting. They want war. They want wars. This is a big reason why what funds America is war. We're a military-industrial complex. That's where they make their money. And selling weapons. We are the world's largest arms dealer to countries like Saudi Arabia, to Turkey, to Egypt, to Israel, to Ukraine, to a lot of European countries. They get a lot of their weapons from us. We manufacture more for them. And Russia doesn't need any of that help. They manufacture their own in-house. They don't have private contractors. But the nuke didn't stop anything. It was never a deterrent because, the world isn't afraid, the West isn't afraid of Russia's threats of nukes. They're not. They're going to keep attacking. Why? And then watching Russia do nothing, so they keep attacking. Yeah. And, we just had the EU elections, and the Zionists and these far-right, far-left assholes who are World Economic Forum shitbags for Israel and Ukraine have lost a lot. Germany, they got trounced. The pro-Nazi government got trounced. Macron held on. Meloni, held on. Well, everybody there is a bunch of shitbags. It's a country of idiots who elected a woman who lied to them. And then turned around and pretty much admitted later she's a liar. But her party, has power. And the country's doing terrible. All the European countries are falling apart. England, they're about to, I didn't know this till George Galloway said it. England doesn't pick their prime minister. I thought they did. But it turns out it's the king. So I don't think George Galloway is going to be picked. Most likely, Keemstar are doing the same shit Richie Sunak. And apparently Richie Sunak's going to maybe move to America? Oh, God. Why? Ugh, it's bad enough we have all these assholes in our country that want to go to war. What? I don't need a Pakistani asshole to come in here and want to probably fuck children on top of it. We got enough of those people. Yeah. So, you could get depressed on that. I try not to always think about this stuff. That's why I've been, as far as making videos, I'm not, the new stuff, it's like, a lot of people cover it. I probably will go in more, but I just want to make this video going in about the human nature, your violent nature to kill yourself. You're never going to stop. I said, you're never going to end the violence because this is who you are. Yeah. You can't stop yourselves. And I'm not saying everybody. I'm saying the people that run your governments. All are violent. I'm not talking about China. China doesn't want war with anybody. I'm talking about the West. All you want to do is go to war. Kill. Murder. Rape. You can't stop yourself. So, So, it sounds depressing, but it's a reality. I'm not depressed. I'm just being a realist. This is human nature. So, this is Gilgamesh. I've talked long enough. I will talk to you later. Bye.